Hi. Thought for today is simply this. Leaders, don't ever forget that little things mean a lot. Why I'm saying this, as I was looking through some paperwork this morning, it reminded me of a client that I worked with a few years ago on leadership training. We had worked on everything from strategic planning to succession planning, and we're in the midst of some leadership training with the entire management team, supervisors to senior level executives and the company owner. And that particular week with the management team, we were talking about ways to enhance employee engagement, to really let every employee know that the leadership team was serious about some of the changes that they were trying to implement to become better leaders. What I had done is I had worked with the frontline managers and mid-level managers on the day before I worked with the senior executive team. And we had brainstormed various ideas. So the next day when I was working with the executive team, I asked them, so let's brainstorm ideas on what can be done from a leadership perspective to increase employee engagement and really let them understand that you are serious about all these changes that we're rolling out, that you really do want to be better leaders. So the executive team started sharing ideas like improve employee benefits, expand the break room area, offer better food through the vending machines, add some gaming tables, increase pay, those types of activities. Then I asked them, I said, so are you ready to see what the managers shared yesterday as far as their ideas to where we might have some overlap? And they readily agreed. They were anxious. So what I did is I walked to a piece of paper that I had taped to the wall and draped so they couldn't see it. And I simply did an unveiling. And on that piece of paper were simply two words: thank you. When the senior team saw that, they sat back somewhat stunned, because the number one request that came from the frontline managers and mid-level managers that they would like from the senior team are simple thank yous and acknowledgments of the work that they're doing. Just this little mini survey was enough to show the leadership team that maybe if they start out with something as basic as better acknowledgement of the good work their employees are doing in real time, they can then work with their employees to identify what would be specific ways to really improve employee engagement going forward. A simple acknowledgement, a simple thank you goes a long way. A reminder I had of this was just a couple weeks ago. Gina, who works for me, came to my office before she was leaving for the day, and she was somewhat chuckling, and she said that she had been cleaning out some files. And even though she said, I may not realize that some of these things matter, they do matter to her. And what she held in her hand was a simple little Post-it note that looked like this. And basically on it had a hand-drawn star. And she had dated it 2007. Now, I'm fortunate she's been working with me for a number of years. So obviously at some point in 2007, she had done something, and neither one of us to this day can remember what it was exactly. But whatever it was, I apparently appreciated it. And thankfully, I just drew a star on a Post-it note and gave it to her to say thank you. Something as basic as that resonated with her. And she's kept it all these years. So I shared just those two examples with you. If you have employees that you would simply like to acknowledge with some sign, some demonstration that you appreciate what they do, don't think you have to have some huge budget to do it. A simple thank you, like a hand-drawn star, or something even as silly as a little happy face. I know they sound silly, but when you give them to the employees in real time and you genuinely are sincere about saying thanks, it resonates. It's often the little things that mean the most. So that's my challenge for you today as a leader, is if you need to identify A simple way to acknowledge employees and say thank you for what they do to help you move your organization forward. Take my challenge. Say thank you, give them a smiley face, or give them a star.